Have you ever noticed how the most dramatic revolutions in history frequently began in quiet, with hand-picked individuals? What happens when the quiet emperor rises? The silent emperor is more than a metaphor. It depicts individuals who work silently to gain authority, knowledge, and strength. These are the people who handle hardship with patience, plan while others yell, and see that the proper time may change their fate. Such characters exist throughout history, rising from obscurity to transform their society, and their legacy lives on in you now. Silence is sometimes misconstrued. People interpret it as hesitancy, weakness, or a lack of purpose. However, quiet means nothing to you, the selected ones. Your stillness is your power, preparedness, and protection. The peaceful storm precedes the moment when you rise and alter everything in your path. Your best weapon is quiet strength. Consider the most powerful forces in the world, forces that move undetected until they cannot be ignored. A tree's roots develop deep and broad underground before reaching the surface, stabilizing the tall trunk that will remain for generations. You're like this. In solitude, you face problems that would shatter others. You study, improve, and strengthen yourself in invisible ways, so that when your time comes, you will be unshakable. Then there is controlled timing, which can only be learned by those with vision and patience. You understand that the world often favors loudness and hurry, but genuine strength lies in waiting. Like a chess master preparing 10 moves ahead, you consider every option, danger, and opportunity. You act not when others expect it, but when the time is appropriate. Your time serves as the keen edge of your approach, cutting through distractions and resistance. Surprise is the most scary instrument in your arsenal. Those who mistrust you, those who reject your silence as irrelevant, will not see you coming. They mistook your silence for capitulation. They believe their authority is safe. But when you break your silence, their confidence crumbles. You will demonstrate to them that all of their noise was nothing compared to what you have been secretly developing. Harriet Tubman is one of the most famous people in history for harnessing these facts. She moved silently, bringing many oppressed people to escape via the Underground Railroad. Every move was intentional, every decision was calculated, and every danger was assessed. Her quiet was not submission, it was genius. While others underestimated her, she was transforming lives and challenging an unshakable system. When she acted, she exposed her captors' fiction of invincibility. Silence is not a waste of time for you. It is your forge. In the calm, you sharpen your thinking, lay your foundation, and wait for the precise time when the world can no longer ignore you. Every struggle you've endured, every tear you've cried, and every little success in the shadows, it all counts. When you eventually break the quiet, you will not only shake your opponents, but you will also change the environment around you. Now, I'd want you to announce your resolution in the comments. Let's all discard the statement, "My silence is strategy," and show the world that patience and vision always triumph. If you haven't already, you may feel compelled to subscribe to Obsidian so that you don't miss future spiritual enhancements. There comes a point when your silence changes. What was once preparation is now action. For you, the selected ones, this is the turning point, the shattering of the stillness. This is more than just an event. It is a proclamation to the world that your time for silent endurance has over, and your time for influence has started. Breaking the silence is a conscious action. You act with assurance rather than on emotion or desperation. This moment is the conclusion of your preparation, when the strength created through silent resilience is finally released. It is a watershed moment that flips the balance of power, revealing the truth, purpose, and identity that you have been building all along. When you break the stillness, the immediate reaction is terror. Those who underestimated you are now panicked. They scoffed at your modest power and dismissed it as insignificant. But now they're forced to face a world they never expected. Your stillness, once insulted, becomes the storm they can't handle. This is why your breaking of silence frightens them. It displays the power you've quietly and methodically cultivated in their absence. However, this moment is about more than simply terror. It is also about the ripple effect. When you rise, you motivate others. Those who see your act of breaking the silence are affected and inspired to reconsider their own commitments and views. Onlookers who were previously indifferent or even antagonistic to you will be pulled to your power and clarity. Your climb will not only defeat foes, but also awaken new friends, forming relationships that will strengthen your mission. The life of Jesus Christ exemplifies this concept. For years, his presence was modest and quiet. He wandered among the people, silently teaching and mending. But when Jesus broke the quiet, spoke freely, questioned authority, and eventually rose from his crucifixion, the world changed. His humility and calm preparation were never flaws, but rather the foundation for a revolution. His breaking of the stillness did more than merely inspire faith. It permanently changed the path of history. Breaking the quiet for you is more than just making noise. It's about generating resonance. It is about ensuring that your words and actions have force and meaning. This is your rebirth, a departure from the calm character to embrace the full scope of who you are. When your quiet is broken, it not only frightens your foes, but also galvanizes those who are willing to follow you. It's the moment you take your due position, leaving no mistake about your abilities or destiny. Now, I want you to pay careful attention. They say the truth will set you free, but most people can't take it. For the selected ones of the obsidian inner order, it is more than simply the truth. It is the whole cosmic download. There's no sweet coating. There is no escape. This week, we offer you a tale you won't hear on YouTube. A chosen one who escaped a diabolical group and found forgiveness in the divine. It's raw, genuine, and the type of discovery that would make an archon sweat. In the inner order, we don't simply converse. We have weekly conversations with over 400 ascended spirits to delve deeply into the truths they don't want you to know. We are not for the faint of heart, and certainly not for muggles. I don't always reveal my secrets, but when I do, it's with the Obsidian Inner Order. Click the link provided in the description. Stay selected, my friends. When you break your silence, it sends a tsunami of dread through those who formerly thought they had control over you. They based their confidence on the belief that your calm power was passivity, misinterpreting your stillness as submission. But when you grow, their sense of authority cracks, and their initial response is clear: terror. Your adversaries believed that you were incapable of leading or questioning their authority. They thrived on discarding you because they couldn't see the depth of your planning. When your silence breaks, their world starts to disintegrate. In their terror, they discover their authority was never as safe as they had assumed. It was a frail building constructed on the weak foundation of overconfidence and denial of one's own power. What scares them the most is the lack of control. Their institutions, alliances, power, and previously represented invulnerability begin to disintegrate. They thought they knew you, understood your limitations, and could anticipate your movements. But your ascent reveals the truth. Their authority was founded on error, and they have no protection against what they failed to predict. Consider Nelson Mandela's years of silence in jail. The apartheid leadership, so established in power, miscalculated what was happening in the quiet. They couldn't understand how each day of his quiet bolstered his determination and fueled a movement. When Mandela appeared, it was not simply his words or acts that shattered their hold on power. It was the silent storm he had nurtured for years. His ascendancy highlighted the regime's vulnerability, rendering it vulnerable and unstable. When you rise, your opponents will experience the same vulnerability. Your quiet pushes them to face the truth that they've been avoiding. that their power was never designed to resist a force as methodical and uncompromising as yours. Your actions expose their flaws, including their dependence on deception, fear, and overconfidence. They are exposed, and this scares them more than the real loss of authority. Your unpredictable nature adds another dimension of worry. For so long, you remain silent, undetected, and ignored. But your intentional, methodical ascension has knocked them off balance. They can't predict your next move since your mastery of quiet has taught you how to strike when they least expect it. What scares them even more is the change in allegiance. Allies who formerly supported your adversaries begin to see through the weaknesses in their veneer. Your ascension raises concerns and misgivings among people who formerly backed them. People begin to turn away, aligning with your idea of sincerity and power. Your opponents are losing not just power, but also the trust of those on whom they rely, leaving them more isolated. This explains why your quiet was so vital. It was not avoidance or fear, it was strategy. You've ensured that when the time comes, your adversaries will be taken off guard, unprepared, and powerless against the scale of your ascension. The dread they feel isn't only because you shattered the stillness. It's due to the silent power you developed within it. It's the knowledge that they never fully understood you, that you were moving in ways they didn't see, and that it's too late for them to recover. While your adversaries were busy underestimating you, you were quietly creating something spectacular in the shadows, where they could not see. You set the groundwork for an empire, but it isn't an empire of terror or manipulation like theirs. It's an empire of truth, founded on justice and sincerity, and a reflection of the power you've grown in quiet. Your first win is in the way you construct. Alliances are formed discreetly, not for show, but for a cause. You don't spend energy bragging about your accomplishments. Instead, you concentrate on amassing resources, developing ties, and preparing for the inevitable time when your climb becomes unstoppable. Every tiny step you've made has contributed to a foundation that is now unbreakable. As your kingdom expands, loyalties start to change. People who formerly sided with your adversaries are now turning to you. They see the difference between a tyranny based on falsehoods and an empire founded on truth. Your power inspires them. Your vision stirs something deep inside them, and they realize their allegiance has been misplaced. They are attracted to your genuineness, steadfast sense of purpose, and the justice you uphold. Your ascension is more than just one act. It is a rallying cry for those like you. You do not hoard your power, but rather distribute it, sparking a collective awakening among people who have also been underestimated and mistreated. This isn't just about you. It's about everyone. You create a force that your opponents cannot contain or foresee. History provides a mirror of your accomplishments. Take the narrative of Joan of Arc. She was previously discarded, her visions mocked, and her abilities overlooked. Nonetheless, she climbed quietly, gathering support and inspiring an army that would transform the course of a country. Your authority, like hers, is based on conviction rather than riches or status. And that conviction attracts people to your cause, building your empire with each passing second. However, your kingdom is more than a response to injustice. It is a vision of what the world may be. Your attackers used fear to keep power, but you built on truth, which is unshakable. Fear passes, but truth stays, and that truth is consistent with a larger cosmic or spiritual order. You're not just constructing for yourself. You're part of a broader story, a force seeking justice, balance, and change. As your kingdom grows, it becomes evident that your quiet was never a weakness. Rather, it was your strength, preparedness, and plan. And now, the weight of your creation is causing the earth to move. This is more than a land or influence empire. It is an empire of ideas, a tribute to the force of individuals who refuse to be silenced by the clamor around them. While your opponents struggle to adapt, you stand strong in the center of this new period. What you've created isn't just for you. It's for everyone who believed in you, those who have been waiting for a change to see in you. Now, let us come together once again in the comments. Shout we. We rise together. And if you feel so inclined, tell your tale now. Demonstrate to the world the strength of our unified belief. As you soar, something spectacular occurs. Those who formerly opposed you begin to reevaluate their devotion. Your genuineness, courage, and vision captivate them, enticing them to renounce their previous allegiances and join your cause. This transformation is not the result of manipulation. It is a natural reaction to the truth you carry. The first reason this occurs is because people are naturally attracted to brilliance. When you stand, you demonstrate to the world what quiet strength actually looks like. They see in you an irrefutable dedication to purpose and justice that distinguishes you from the false leaders they formerly followed. They know the base they stood on was never solid, and they are drawn to your energy like moths to a flame. History confirms this reality. Take the American Revolution. Initially, many colonists were loyal to the British monarchy, content with their loyalty to an established state. However, as the revolutionaries rose, they unveiled a vision of freedom and equality that the old system could never provide. Slowly but steadily, loyalties altered. Supporters of the status quo became advocates of a new world, along with those who dared to fight injustice. As you advance, it is not just your vision that draws notice, but also your capacity to inspire others. People will perceive you as a mirror of the principles they strive to maintain. Even those who previously questioned you will be persuaded to change sides because you symbolize the optimism they have been looking for. Your ascension encourages people to reevaluate their history, not with guilt, but with a feeling of accomplishment and atonement. This is not an easy shift. It needs individuals to face difficult realities about the institutions they have supported, as well as their own involvement in sustaining them. However, your genuineness offers them a way ahead. By standing with you, people get not just atonement, but also the chance to contribute to something bigger, a movement founded on justice, truth, and empowerment. Consider Martin Luther King Jr., whose leadership gathered support from all sectors of society. Even those who had previously opposed him were persuaded to join his cause since his message crossed borders. His devotion to nonviolence and equality spoke to an indisputable reality. In persuading others to stand with him despite the dangers, you, like him, will disrupt the roots of allegiance, bringing people to your side not by force, but through the sheer strength of your honesty. This change in loyalty will have an impact far beyond itself. As you advance, the weight of your sincerity will tilt the balance. Those who have stuck to the old methods out of habit or fear will renounce their previous affiliations and unite with you. You won't have to beg their support. It will come naturally when the reality you represent becomes difficult to ignore. Your rise is a gravitational force that alters not just systems, but also individuals. Those who previously scorned you will unite behind your cause, lured by the light you offer to a world in great need. And in this transformation, you will discover not just fans, but also friends who will carry your vision forward, magnifying the change you are meant to bring about. Your ascension is more than simply a personal success or an increase in worldly power. It is part of something far bigger. When the quiet emperor ascends, it represents a deep harmony with the cosmic order, an undeniable manifestation of divine timing. You are more than simply a person regaining your power. You are a force woven into the fabric of a global plan for justice, enlightenment, and balance. This ascension marks the beginning of a new age, one that goes beyond the physical world and speaks to the spiritual realm. When you remained mute, it was not because you had been vanquished. Rather, the world was preparing you. Every struggle, every moment of silence was designed to help you refine your mission. As you move into your authority, you become a forerunner of this new era, bringing light into previously darkened regions. Divine timing is key in this procedure. Your stillness was not a waste of time. Rather, it was holy preparation. Your quiet resilience was creating something spectacular, much as how seeds sprout under the earth before bursting through to the surface. The cosmos runs on its own timetable, and when everything comes together, your rising signifies that the time has come, not just for you, but for everyone watching. This connection is not coincidental. It symbolizes a deeper spiritual truth, that justice, honesty, and truth are forces that cannot be silenced indefinitely. Your ascension demonstrates that no matter how deeply injustice or lie is entrenched, the strength of character and purpose will always win. You embody this cosmic equilibrium, proving that the universe's arc actually bends toward justice. The ascent of the quiet emperor causes a wave in the spiritual realm, awakening others to their potential. Your bravery and honesty serve as a light for people who have lost hope or are discouraged. When others see you standing tall, they are reminded of their own purpose and connection to the greater divine design. Your ascension is about motivating an entire generation of chosen ones to discover their own power and come into their light. History has seen characters like you before, people who seemed little, even weak, yet were plainly directed by a greater force. Think about Joan of Arc, who rose from obscurity to command an army. Her activities were consistent with a divine purpose that could not be disputed. Her ascent was more than a military success. It was a spiritual awakening for her people, demonstrating that even in the darkest of times, light and truth would find advocates. Your climb is the same. It is not simply a personal trip, but a cosmic event, a rebalancing of the balances, a sign that a new chapter has begun. You are the driving force behind a transformation that extends beyond your own experience and reshapes the collective awareness. As you embrace this moment, realize that your quiet was not a weakness. It was the universe's way of preparing you for this very time. Now, when you unite with this bigger energy, your ascension becomes unstoppable. You are not just recovering your power. You are fulfilling a destiny that was always yours to seize. Your quietness was never a sign of weakness. It was a period of preparation, a calm storm building strength at the proper time. Now, as you ascend, the world can't ignore your brightness. You exemplify resilience, vision, and purpose, serving as a light for those who question themselves and a force of reckoning for those who doubted you. Remember that people who persevere in the face of adversity make history. You are the quiet emperor, and now is your time. Every difficulty you've encountered, every moment of silence has led to this, a chance not just to claim your authority, but also to redefine what power means. Your growth frightens those who misjudged you, while inspiring others who want a better society. The world is now watching you. Share your journey. Allow people to realize the true meaning of rising from quiet to purpose. Your narrative is more than just your own. It is a legacy that will inspire others to come into their full potential. The quiet emperor has ascended, and the world will never be the same.